What's good, y'all? It's Rob Reacts back with another one. Today we're looking at something from Forgotten Kings TV 2.0. Tyrese gets into a heated exchange with Home Depot Karen after being denied services. I ain't never seen this, but Tyrese always in some shit. So I don't know. I don't know if it's really just a Karen. Let's see what's going on. Like, share, subscribe. I can't even.
Can you please include that information? I was just there. I just walked. I was just in your store, ma'am. If you're going to talk to your manager, tell your manager the truth. I was just in the store and I gave my guys my credit card in front of your staff and team member and I walked off. Don't say that I'm not there with no ID. You can pull up the cameras. I was there 5 minutes ago. This is completely unnecessary, what you're doing right now. I'm not answering what?
See? Do you have a pro account?
Ma'am, should I have the CEO of Home Depot to call you tomorrow?
Oh boy.
Because he's my neighbor. He's my neighbor in Atlanta. You want me to get the CEO of Home Depot to call you and tell you that this is unnecessary?
I hope he ain't talking to this girl, because this girl obviously don't give a fuck who the owner of Home Depot is. Look how she look. She don't give a fuck. Her parents probably still pay her bills. She's just working to get out the house.
What you're doing?
Yep, my manager said that's fine.
Okay, tell your manager I was just in the store. Do you want to tell him that part?
He can hear you.
Okay, manager, what is his name?
Carlos?
Carlos. What's his last name?
That's not necessary.
That's not necessary.
You work in Home Depot. You work in a public place. You're asking me for my first and last name. I'm giving it to you. Tyrese Gibson. And those guys are my designers and builders. And I was just in your store 5 minutes ago. And you're on the phone with me asking for ID. And you're talking to the ID. I was just in your store. This is, I understand policy, but you know you're being extra right now.
Your physical ID.
Excuse me?
Credit card.
This is Tyrese Gibson. I was just in your store.
Store policy.
Okay, what is his last name? Store policy.
I'm not giving you his last name.
Okay, what is your name? What is your name?
My name's Corelli.
Aurelie?
Yep, Carly.
And what's your
Carly.
last name?
Carly?
I'm not giving you my last name.
I've never heard that before.
Okay, I like your bang.
I ain't gonna hold you. When I used to work at the customer service and shit, and people would be like, "What's your last name?" I'd be like, I don't give nobody my last name, especially if they're angry or some shit. Cause then they could be, I don't know if they're some hackers or something, and they could just use my name and get into something. I don't know. If they ask for it, I'd be like, hell no. I'm more likely to give you my last name if you don't ask for it.
You have a good night.
You as well.
All right, Karen.
I'll go back.
Okay, Karen, take care.
I think you be sure whatever.
All right, so this is the end of it.
Thanks, Karen. What time
He
do
knows
they
she can't
close
hear him.
now?
Oh, he came back. Okay, let's see this. He comes back.
What time close?
No, came back. So keep that same energy. Ain't that the same girl right there? He got to be careful how you walk up on this chick, though. You can't. Oh, that's not her? If that was her, you can't just walk up on her like, yo, because, boy, hell no. You black, white girl, hell no. And Home Depot itself is racist. I mean, that's just how they are. So she just doing her job. I ain't gonna lie. I had a homegirl used to work there. She told me flat out that they racist, and they tell people they have a dude in there that like in plain clothes and follow people of color around. That shit is crazy. Now, this was 10 years ago, so maybe they changed up, you know what I'm saying, got stuff straight, hopefully.
$3,000. Okay. Go ahead. You got it. Alrighty. So you're a supervisor, right? What's your name? Corelli? And your last name is what? Why not? Because you work here. And I have a problem with your energy when you're unprofessional. So what's your...
All right, so it seemed like he said he was just down there. He gave his card to whoever in front of the people. But like, if their policy is the CID though, just being real. Because if someone took my card and want to go bought a bunch of shit, and they was like, "Well, we saw him with you earlier. We just figured, bitch, I'm suing everybody in that motherfucker." You feel me? So if it's policy, bro, I don't really. It's policy, my nigga. Like, I ain't really hear her say nothing crazy to him or be like outward belligerent. He seemed like he looking to like argue with her. So I don't know though, but I could be wrong. Let's see.
Your last name? Okay. So, ma'am, how long?
Don't consent to being recorded.
What?
Oh.
What is? How long have you been working here, ma'am? You? I just have a question. How long? 1 year. Okay. Gotcha. So, my problem with
What the fuck? What was that?
I've been living 3 blocks in here for 10 years. And if this is a policy without a pro account, why are you the first person to stop my team and my builder from coming here when I've been coming to this particular Home Depot for 10 years? Make me understand that. If this is a policy and you're the boss and you run this place, why are you the only one doing or living up to the company policy? Explain that to me.
I can explain other people's actions.
You can, because they reflect you. If you're the boss,
Yo.
you're the manager, and you say it's company policy to show ID before you swipe a credit card, unless you have a pro account, I'm asking you and your staff and your team, these people all work for you. And you're the supervisor, you're the manager, anything that anybody do as far as their role that may not have the same particular seniority that you have, make me understand, after 10 years of coming to this place, with the same guys swiping for way bigger amounts. And this is like the smallest transaction they've done. Make me understand in 10 years why no one has ever asked for ID. You don't know? And you work here. And you're the supervisor. You're the cashier supervisor. Which means that when everybody do all the shopping, they got to come see you before they swipe their card, along with the rest of your team that are cashiers, right? Because if it's a policy, then everybody should be living up to the policy, right? So make me understand after 10 years why this just happened for the first time without a pro account. I've not been to the store. And make me understand how you just seen me and other people that work here just seen me physically in the store. And I was just here. Sir, did you just see me in the store? Sir? So how did you barely look at me if I bought 2 candy bars from you and we gave you the scanning machine, you looked at me and we just did the whole transaction and I walked out. Are you telling me you've never seen me until right now?
No, I'm not saying that. I just didn't recognize you.
I'm not talking about recognize me as a celebrity. You did see me, correct? I just want you to confirm that I was just in the store 5 minutes ago.
You were there, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
Bruh. He made this nigga change his story. Yeah, you were there. That nigga don't want no parts of this shit, bruh. He probably just got this job. You see, he look a little on the urban side. They probably let this nigga on probation already. He like, I don't want to say shit. Why I had to come over here? He probably wanted to stay in the back, bruh. But you know, then Tyrese reaching out to everybody else. Bruh, look, it's crazy. Yeah, 10 years you ain't had to do it. But like, who give a fuck, bro? Like, it's crazy. But these are fucking problems that we don't have to deal with, like, we not rich yet, I guess. That's rich people problems. But I'm saying you said you lived 3 blocks away. You had to take a little extra time to go do it. I mean, I guess it sucks, but is it worth this? Take more time than it did for him to do the shit that he did do. Like, come on, bro.
I know for you that was there. I barely looked at your face.
Okay.
I was really bringing all this stuff up, and they were handing you different things, so then you were like, okay.
This nigga explaining his whole life to Tyrese right now. And this white girl does not give no fucks. And I'm not even saying this because she's white or because he's black. She's just like, nigga, I don't care. Like, what do you, like, bro, she called her manager and her manager said no. So him talking to her don't mean shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's just Tyrese being Tyrese, bro.
Why I didn't get a good look at it.
Regardless, he's still a boss, right?
Look, she said after all that, I don't give a fuck what he just said. Guess what? Get back there, Johnny. You're still on probation. But Tyrese, I don't give a fuck. He still did the CID. Hey, so it don't matter then. So, like, whatever, nigga.
Okay, so I just called you on FaceTime.
That's not valid form of ID.
Now, you know damn well FaceTime ain't no valid ID. Come on, bro.
That's
A passport or
10
state
years.
ID.
10 years coming. No pro account.
Buddy, out of there. Buddy, like, let me go back somewhere and do something.
To say, here's the company policy and this is what we're not doing. I'm trying to understand. And you represent the supervisor cashier. Make me understand how all of these cashiers for the last 10 years have been swiping my credit card without me physically being here with no ID, with no pro. That's the policy. Make me understand. Because them not doing that is not living up to the policy that you're supposed to put in place and keep in place. I'm going to tell you what this feels like. This feels like racism. And I
She
don't
like,
know
oh.
this feels
She like, oh, here we go. You already, anytime you talking to someone white, if they are being racist and they don't know it, and you say something about race, they immediately roll their eyes. Or like, oh, God, you know what I'm saying? It don't mean that she's not being racist. I don't want to, because I don't know what her intentions was. From what I seen, though, it looked like he was there at the store. He gave his card to one of his workers or whatever. He left the store. It don't matter if they fucking saw you hand the card. Did you hand the card and say, hey, here's my ID with the card. Hey, look, see this? Okay, now I'm going to go. I'm going to put this to get this to John or whoever, and I'm going to leave. If he did that, okay, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But what he talking about, oh, well, I was here. You saw me here. What the, yo, now he making people around the store telling them that they seen him. Of course niggas going to be like, yo, all right, yeah, I saw you. Like, bruh, yo, Tyrese, bro, you got to calm down with this shit, man.
feels like racism, and you're not professional enough to apologize or give us better energy, even though I didn't physically came back. Your staff and employee that works with you and for you as another cashier, he just seen me. I bought 2 candy bars. He looked me in my face.
This nigga in the candy
he
bars.
swiped it, and I walked right out the store. Is that the policy too? Where he's gonna use a scanner and pay for 2 candies, 2 candy bars, and let me walk out the store?
You said you were with them.
Exactly right. Which means I never showed you my ID, and I never swiped my credit card, and I walked out with 2 candy bars. Is that also the policy?
But I saw them nod. Like, oh, yes.
They nodded.
Yeah.
And I also just called her on the phone, and I showed her my face, told her I was just in the store, and I nodded as well. So why did you let me walk out the store with 2 candy bars without ID and without swiping my card?
Because that was part of the whole total. I couldn't swipe it for just 2 things when you were adding it to the
That was the whole total, but you don't even know if my credit card would actually go through. You let me walk out the store without seeing my ID or letting my credit card swipe. Is that company policy?
Why Tyrese trying to get this nigga fired, bruh? Told you this nigga already on probation for being ethnic in Home Depot. And now Tyrese gonna get this nigga fired over 2 candy bars. Because yes, he knew who Tyrese was, and he was like, oh, okay, you with them, blah, blah. All right, bet, go ahead on, man. Yeah. Because like he said, they had been letting him do that for 10 years, so he was just following what. But then the girl, I guess she just, she's a supervisor, maybe she just got promoted. And she like, oh, wait. Per the promotion research I've been doing, you feel me? We need to see ID. And then she called her manager, and her manager said, yes, ID. She said, my manager hears you. He said, yes, ID. You want me to call, what he said, to call the owner of Home Depot? She said, yeah, go ahead. Bro, this nigga's dragging this shit.
Policy? I'm just trying to understand what I don't understand.
I'm not sure if that relates to what.
Don't worry about who I am. I really thank you. They're disrespecting me and my team on purpose. And I'm handling it. I'm asking you, company policy-wise, because I don't work here. And I didn't make up any of the rules. Do you let people come to Home Depot as a cashier and you scan candy bars or drinks or anything, and you let them walk out the store without paying? That's what I'm asking.
If it was one person alone, no, I wouldn't let them do that.
Okay. I'm good, man. I'm just trying to understand why I'm feeling what I'm feeling.
What happened? I mean, about the, were you with a customer calling over the phone about the
Yes,
transaction?
that was me.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, and I get your point, I mean, your frustration, and I do apologize about that, but she was just following protocols.
Okay, I'm asking about the protocol, because I'm not...
Hey, keeping it G, if that girl would have had that energy as the guy that came up with the glasses, he just appeared, then he probably would have been all squashed. He just wanted that apology energy.
I don't work here.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Just wanted him some apology action.
Me about the protocol. I walked up to this gentleman. I grabbed 2 candy bars.
Got it.
He scanned it. And I
Don't
said,
get him fired, Reese.
They're going to finish the rest of the transaction. They got my credit card, and I left.
Okay.
I did not pay for my 2 candy bars.
But you left the credit card to that person?
With them. I was just here with them, and this man just seen me. He scanned.
He said, I didn't know that.
He scanned.
Wow. So the white girl played him. He told her on the phone 10 times. Tell her I was just in there. Tell him I was just in there. He said, I didn't know. Yo. Okay. The Karenisms is coming out. Okay, Tyrese might have been on to something. The Karenisms is here.
I looked him in
Look
the
at this
face.
shit. I didn't know that.
Let me finish. He scanned my 2 candy bars.
Let me see what he said.
Scanned
He said he didn't know that.
with them. I was just here with them, and this man just seen me. He scanned.
I didn't know that.
Hold on, let me finish. He scanned my 2 candy bars. I looked him in his face. They were finishing up the transaction, and I walked out of your store with 2 candy bars, no ID, and I didn't swipe my card to pay for it. And he let me leave. So then, as I left, sir, they're now here to finish the transaction because irregardless of who I am, I don't like getting attention. And I just started seeing people looking, and I was like, let me go ahead and work my way out. They've been
Makes
coming
sense.
here and working with me. They work with me. I don't treat anybody less than. I treat everybody with respect. They've been working with me for 10 years. I have not been in this store in probably 6 years. So I'm asking the supervisor, who won't give me her last name, what is the store policy that you have in place that you're supposed to implement where I'm able to scan 2 candy bars and walk outside without my ID and without paying for it? And he let me leave.
Why you keep putting my
I'm calling
dog
you on FaceTime to say if you have an ID problem and I don't have a pro account, you're looking at me on FaceTime and I'm telling you it's me. And then you're saying the policy is I got to come in here and show my ID. So why did your coworker let me leave with 2 candy bars with no ID and I didn't swipe a credit card? If that's your policy, that's what I'm asking. If that's your policy, I'm asking you. I
Yo.
don't work here. I'm asking you.
That's
what is your
hilarious.
policy? This is a reflection of you. Because you're the cashier supervisor, and then you called your boss to get to the bottom of what's happening. So I'm asking you, as the boss of the cashiers,
Look at him.
why did somebody
He's
on
like,
the
yeah, why didn't you do
staff
it?
look at me, grab the scanner out of my hand? It was over here. We gave it to him. He was like, hey, man, here. He reached over the wood and the doors and went bloop, bloop, bloop. And I said, hey, man, they going to take care of the transaction. They got it. I'm out. You're being a racist. And that's the truth. I don't have a racist bone in my body. And you know you got that racist energy all over you because you're not even willing to apologize, fix it, and point out the inconsistencies of what you know and your training and what the policies are. You're wrong. You're wrong, and I want your full name, and I'm going to reach out to the people who own this place, who is the CEO of Home Depot is my neighbor in Atlanta. Okay? So you don't have to give me a name. I'll figure it out. This is wrong. And people should not be treated this way. And if you got a policy and you reflect the policy of this place, then the policy should be consistent with everybody that works here.
She's just like, I'm ready for this to be over.
Okay? You don't care, right? Because you don't. He cares. That's why he came out. You're wrong. And I came here to tell you you're wrong, and you're not even willing to apologize.
She not gonna apologize.
Co-star and co-worker seen me, identified me, without ID. He was like, all right, cool. I said, yo, man, they gonna take care of everything. I gave him my credit card, and I walked out.
I don't know. Look, now that Buddy was like, he didn't know that, and Tyrese was on the phone telling her to tell him I was just in there, like 10 times he said that. If you back at the beginning of the video, you'll see he was like 10 times like, yo, tell him I was just in there, and I gave him the card, and blah, blah, blah. She ain't give a shit. She ain't repeat none of that. She was just like, oh, he can hear you. Yo, I mean, is he right? I don't know if it's because he was black, though. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's racist or just her being like, fuck you. Like, I don't feel like doing what you're telling me to do. It could have been Alec Baldwin in that bitch, and she was like, no, come back with your ID. So I don't know. I ain't really see no overt. We got to be careful just saying everything is racist. You know what I'm trying to say? Because then it's like, you know, it's like cry wolf. And then when a real racist shit happen, it's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but again, she was on some bullshit. But I don't know if she was on no racist shit. So I don't know. Y'all let me know. Get in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what y'all want to see. I'm out.